Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. I am Felris, sailing the seas of Raid Shadow Legends. Today, we're going to be talking about and doing a bit of a damage test for the recent free champion, Leminisi the Gold-Wing, guys. First of all, very elaborate skin here. Missing a wing kind of thing. Kind of looks kind of cool. A Sylvan Legendary attack champion with a very interesting kit. I put her in Thor's gear here, so we're going to be doing a damage test, of course, with that. I've already used her in a Hydra team, so we're going to go over that as well. You want to know a secret? You can get Caldor for free, as well as Fane, Ugo, and Vergus right now. Here's exactly how to do it. Log out of Plarium Play and uninstall. Use the link in the description below to start a brand new Raid Shadow Legends account. Log in, complete the tutorial, and you'll find Caldor Fox Hunter in your inbox afterwards. As you level up, you'll also get Fane, Ugo, and Vergus. So don't wait. Use that link and start a brand new account right now. Let's just see what she does. A1 attacks one enemy 2 times. If the target is under a shield, each hit has a 25% chance of decreasing the value of the shield by 10%. Will also ignore 50% of the target's resistance if the target is from the Corrupted Alliance. If the target is not under any shield debuffs, each hit will ignore 10% of the target's defense instead. The ignore defense is actually better than the shield reduction. Pretty good. Pretty good, right? Buff debuff chance, books. What is that? Up to what? 50%? 50% chance of decreasing the value of a shield is really kind of bad. It would be much better if this was just flat ignore defense. Break the shield that way. Then the A2 here, intercept the threat. 5-turn cooldown, 3-turn cooldown, fully booked. Attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 100% chance of removing 2 random buffs from the target. Will also ignore 50% of the target's resistance if the target is from the Corrupted Alliance. This skill deals more damage equal to the value of the target's current turn meter, up to 100%. Guys, you can potentially, you're going to do double damage on each hit of this skill. That is super solid. AoE also attacks all enemies 2 times. First hit has a 75 books on 100% chance of placing a 100% heal reduction debuff for 2 turns. Second hit has a 50% chance of placing a block buffs debuff for 2 turns. That books up to a 75% chance of placing the block buffs debuff. Will also ignore 50% of the target's resistance if the target is from the Corrupted Alliance. Then her passive receives 15% less damage from enemies under heal reduction debuffs. Fills this champion's turn meter by 5% whenever an enemy receives a shield buff or is healed. Couple of problems with this champion's kit. One is the A1 should just be ignore defense. And the second one is, why the heck isn't this a 100% chance of placing a block buffs? Heal reduction and block buffs is such a unique combination. There's absolutely no reason why this should not be a 100% chance. But that aside, let's go over her masteries. So I went down, I picked up Helm Smasher. She is a damage dealer, so she's going to benefit from Helm Smasher. I also went with Master Hexer to extend the duration of her debuffs. Lore of Steel, then she is in a speed set, as well as the accuracy and turn meter increasing masteries. Super important for her is going to be Sniper. Increase the chances of placing any debuff from skills or artifacts by 5%. Make sure we have an 80% chance of placing that block buffs. Now, because she does have an inconsistent block buffs, she should not be your only block buffs champion. However, in the team we're running her in, the heal reduction is actually super good. Why is that? Well, because we're running her with the faction unity champion for the faction, Blade Chorister Caldor. Caldor has a massive self-buffing move that can easily be stolen by the Head of Mischief. So you just slap a heal reduction on the Head of Mischief, and suddenly those continuous heals mean nothing. So in that combination, the Leminisi Caldor combination in Hydra is super strong. Here's another reason why. Caldor needs somebody like a Feral the Barkhorn to place block buffs to do extra work on the team. Leminisi fits that perfectly. She's carrying the heal reduction. She's carrying the block buffs. She's a damage dealer, all right? She's going to be boosting her own turn meter. She fits the mold perfectly. She's a very good combo with Blade Chorister Caldor. Now, obviously, the advantage to using Feral is just he has a 100% heal reduction, or sorry, 100% block buffs, right? But you know, outside of that, Leminisi works well, and she was free. Now, let's take a look at her stats. We've got 5.9k attack, 235 speed, 247 crit damage, and we're running a Cat's Gaze on her to ignore extra defense. She's in speed, pinpoint, and lethal. Now, I think we would probably want a little bit more crit damage on her. The soul makes that a little bit easier if you have the soul for her. Let's do a quick damage test here. So we've got Leminisi the Gold-Wing, right? We also got to run Lydia and Arbiter along with her so that we can do an accurate damage comparison here. Again, we are talking cat's gaze, we are talking lethal gear, all that good stuff. So we're going to go ahead and boost. We've got increased attack. One bad thing about Leminisi is she doesn't really ramp throughout longer fights, so that's a bit of a disadvantage. Let's go ahead, test out the A2. Now, Miscreated Monster is super tanky. Let's see what exactly she can go do. Intercept the threat. 134 one-shots that Miscreated Monster. All right, that is absolutely awesome. Love to see those one-shots here. Let's see what we can do. We got the increased attack there from Arbiter. We're going to go ahead and throw out the drop defense in the weekend, and then we're going to go ahead and see what the A3 can do. Here's the A3. Let's go. 50K, 60, 45K. Didn't quite take out the waves, but I think that's because we have a pretty imbalanced ratio of crit damage to attack. I think that's what the problem is there. We put Nature's Wrath on her as well, so she will have some scaling ability. Now, where do I think that this champ can be used? Well, we already mentioned Hydra and how great she is for Hydra with Blade Chorister Caldor. So here's my Hydra hard team, right? We've got Caldor in the lead doing 31 million damage. Gotta say, it's really, really hard to outdamage Caldor. We've got Leminisi here with 18 million damage, so those are our damage dealers. Mithrala coming in with 10 million. Podrick and Elva. Podrick's giving us ally attack. Elva's giving us heals and revives. And Ugo is actually going to be our drop defense champion and our reliable block buffs champion. Now, this is a team where you want to provoke. I decided to just not use a provoke this team this time around because I was getting wiped by the Head of Wrath, which is a huge problem with Leminisi and Caldor. They're great damage champions, but they are kind of squishy. So you got to bring someone like a Mithrala, a Korrigar Deathbell. Dudan the Runic would actually be really good here as well because he's a Sylvan, so he'll pair well with Caldor, right? Which is really good. So I also kind of need Sylvan Watcher Crypt opens tomorrow. Hilarious how I'm a day early with this video. I kind of need another damage dealer besides Caldor for the Sylvan Watcher Crypt. So I'm quite looking forward to using her there too. Where else do I think she could be as well? Honestly, anywhere early game, this champion will be good for you, right? She's got very hard hitting skills. Oh, we forgot to damage test the A1. What am I thinking? She's got very hard hitting skills. She's got good debuffs. She has a very unique move that scales off of opposing turn meter. Let's go in and just see how much her A1 can hit for real quick. That seems like a pretty important thing to neglect because a lot of damage dealers are going to have either mediocre A1s or very good A1s. You don't really get anything in the mix. All right, we're going to go in. We drop defense. We weaken. Let's see. All right, A1. Let's go against the Miscreated Monster again. Nice, 72-54. Very strong A1. Very strong A1 there. And again, we have her in Helm Smasher, we have her in Lethal, and we have a Cat's Gaze on her. So she is ignoring quite a bit of defense. Unfortunately, no defense built into her kit outside of the A1, but it is still what it is. It is still what it is. Of course, that would hit even harder with the Nature's Wrath. That is my recommendation. If you're going for the soul for her, which you should be, she's going to get up to 5-star soul, which means she gets an extra 30% crit damage. I highly recommend going to Nature's Wrath. It's basically a free Irethi Coronet. You could also stack an Irethi Coronet on her. I don't have one. It's not being used, but you can stack one on her. That's actually potentially better than the Cat's Gaze because that's really good. But yeah, she's really good for Hydra. She's going to be a solid carry in Faction Wars. If you pick her up super early on, she's going to be a super solid carry really wherever you get her or wherever you can use her. And that's honestly super, super, super important. Right? You really want to be able to have a strong damage dealer when you're progressing, particularly Dragon. Dragon's the most important one. And she can be used for Fire Knight since she has all double hitting skills, right? Maybe not as good for Fire Knight with the A2, but she, again, double hitting skills with a heal reduction. That's what you're going to need for Fire Knight's Castle early on. And you're also going to need a heal reduction for the Spirit Keep. So this champion will probably, if you're like super early game, this champion will probably carry you in a lot of places. Not only does she do good damage, but she also has fantastic utility that's super hard to find in the early game, guys. All right, well, let me know your thoughts on Leminisi the Gold-Wing in the comments below. I've been Felris, sailing the seas of Raid Shadow Legends, and I'll see you in another video.